The Secret Library. The Timid Prince. One morning, a few hours before school, Sofia awoke to a glowing light. Flickering her eyes open, she noticed her amulet glowing blue. Still tired, Sofia rubbed her eyes. What time is it? Does the library really need me this early? Sofia quickly got dressed and told her amulet I wished to be small. Along the boat ride, she questioned what could possibly be going on at this hour. Once Sofia got to the secret library and sat down, a large dark book came down before her. She read the cover seeing The Timid Prince. She gave a slight giggle as she told herself, this must be about Desmond. She sat and listened to a story of a young prince who was often paired up with a certain princess at school. Sofia said as she continued to listen. The story then explained how he'd been meaning to ask that princess for a special evening. However, he wasn't brave enough and felt as though she was out of his league. Sofia thought it over for a while until she realized, wait a minute, that means Desmond likes Amber! Sofia gasped. He works with her in school, always helps her. She then giggled and added, plus he tends to blush a lot when she's around. The story then came to a stopping point and Sofia confidently stood up and began rushing out the door. I have to help him ask Amber! For about half of the day at school, Sofia tried to find Desmond. On the way to one of her classes, she finally spotted him and called out, Desmond, wait up! The boy turned around as Sofia caught up to him. He asked what she needed and she simply replied, we need to talk, please. Desmond gave a confused look just before Sofia pulled him into an empty classroom. What's going on? Do you need help with an assignment? If you do, I can help you later. Class is about to start, the prince clarified. Sofia sighed, looked to make sure no one was around, then said, no, Desmond, it's not an assignment, but thanks anyways for the offer. The thing is, I know you need help to ask Amber out. Sofia saw as Desmond's eyes widened. Before he could say anything, Sofia explained, it's okay. You don't need to be embarrassed. I can help. After all, who knows Amber better than her own sister? Desmond thanked Sofia, but then asked why she would think that he needs help to ask out Amber. Well, you like her, don't you? Sofia replied. Desmond's face began to flush as he went, well, He looked up at Sofia and saw her give a calming smile, so he admitted, I do. But I'm not planning to ask her out. Not yet anyway. Sofia was totally lost and turned the other direction. A train of thought then began. That meant the book wasn't talking about Desmond or Amber at all, so it must be about another princess and prince. But who? Sofia, we better get to class before we are late, Desmond said, getting the princess's attention. Class, right, sorry, Sofia apologized, turning back around. Throughout the rest of school, Sofia looked around at all of her classmates to see if she picked up any signs from the princes that there was a girl they liked. She noticed during sorcery, while making objects transform, that Xandar turned his rock into a bouquet of flowers, then asked Hildegard if she thought it was impressive. Hildegard rolled her eyes, explaining how it would have been better if the bouquet included nettle drops. Xandar looked at his flowers, then sighed. Automatically after this, Sofia's face lit up. Was the book about Princess Hildegard and Prince Xandar? She thought to talk to James first, since he knows Xandar best. Sofia waited to hear the bell ring to signify that class was over. She watched as everyone else left the room until she cried out, James! Her stepbrother turned around and asked her what was up. Can I ask you a little favor? Sofia said. Sure, Soph. What's the favor? Sofia awkwardly replied, James, can you please ask Xandar if he likes Princess Hildegard? Please? However, James began to laugh. Xandar liking Hildegard? All he could do was laugh, and Sofia looked at him going, I'm serious. James questioned why Xandar would like Hildegard. Well, He often tries to impress her, right? Sofia pointed out. James thought for a moment, then went, truth. But why exactly do you need to find this out anyway? Sofia recounted how she just needed to know so she can help him ask Hildegard out. Wait, what? Why? James cried. All Sofia could say was that it was a secret. What? Did Hildegard tell you to get him to ask her out or something? James chuckled. Well, no. Hildegard didn't say anything to me yet, Sofia replied. I just feel like Xander would be more likely to tell you about this than me. Alright, Soph, you got it. James accepted as Sofia embraced him in a hug. So, what exactly is the plan to get him into telling me? He finished. Sofia quickly stated that James was on his own and that she had to talk to Hildegard. She followed with a see you later as she rushed out the door, making James go, Boy, Sofia's in a rush today, that's for sure. After school, Sofia approached Hildegard. Hey Hildy, quick question. Who do you think is the cutest boy at school? Hildegard looked at Sofia with complete shock. I'm sorry, what? She exclaimed. Sofia repeated the question and Hildegard disturbingly replied, Sofia, why are you asking me that? Just curious, Sofia stuttered. Hildegard chuckled, smirked, and asked, Aw, Sofia, are you afraid that I like the same boy you do? Sofia laughed a little. No, Hildy, I just need to know so I can help you ask this boy out, that's all. Thanks for the help, Sofia, but I know how to get any kind of boys I want, Hildegard confidently told her friend. Bye, Sofia. Have fun hooking people up, Hildegard slightly joked. Sofia waved back as she watched the Friesenberg princess step into her flying coach. I didn't think the story would be this hard. Why couldn't the book just tell me who it was about? She sighed to herself. Hey, Soph, any luck? A voice said from behind. Sofia turned to see her older brother James approaching. Sofia answered that it was no luck with Hildegard and asked if James had any luck with Xandar. I don't know. He wouldn't tell me. All he said was that the time hasn't come yet. Whatever that means. James sighed. Sofia looked at her brother, explaining how Hugo would usually help her with this, but she hasn't really seen him the past few days. She mentioned how every time she sees him, he tends to disappear within seconds. Maybe Hugo's just busy, Sofia. But I'll talk to Hugo for you tomorrow, alright? James promised. Thanks, James. You're the best. Along with Amber, of course. Sofia giggled. She once again hugged her brother, then stopped going, Wait a minute. James! Do you like anybody? James curiously questioned what would give her that idea. Oh, no reason, James. I was just wondering. Come on, let's go! Sofia exclaimed, pulling her brother to the Enchantian coach that was waiting for them. Along the way home, James disturbingly whispered to Amber that Sofia was acting weird today. What do you mean, weird? Amber replied. Weird as in trying to find out which princes like what girls, James mumbled, watching Sofia out of the corner of his eye to make sure she wasn't listening. Amber was shocked. Being nosy definitely wasn't something expected from Sofia. She asked James if he knew why Sofia was doing this. Not a clue, James answered. Amber insisted that she'll ask Sofia when they get home, James thanking her afterwards. Landing in Enchantia, Sofia dashed out of the carriage and inside. Amber stated how Sofia's really in a rush today. That's what I said, James agreed. Once James stepped out of the flying coach, Amber turned to the coachman and asked if he could fly her up to Sofia's window. Reaching the window, Amber stepped inside. A few moments later, Sofia ran into the room. In a bit of a rush, aren't we? Amber said. Amber? Sofia cried. How did you get up here? She finished. A better question is, what is going on with you today, Sofia? Amber replied. Oh, me? Nothing is going on, Amber. Really? Sofia declared. However, Amber knew this wasn't the truth. Sophia, you can tell me what is going on, Amber began. Besides, I know about your story keeping as well as your protector business, and I haven't told anyone. I have been covering for you a lot. So, yeah, I want to know what is going on with you today, Sophia, she concluded. Sophia glanced back up at Amber, knowing it was the right thing to tell her the truth. She explained word for word what the book told her at the secret library. So, you're supposed to help set someone up with the princess they like? Did it say who? Amber wondered. Sophia sighed and responded, No, they never did say who, but I'm about to have another look at the book. You want to come with me? Amber smiled and they both headed to the secret library. They sat down on the bench as the book came back. Amber read the title, then went, The Timid Prince? Doesn't that mean it's not, Desmond. Trust me, I already tried, Sophia said as the library began to tell the story. Oh, well, thank you for trying, Sophia. But have you looked at the prince? He seems familiar, Amber mentioned, pointing at the picture currently being shown. They couldn't really see key details, only a dark silhouette of the prince. Sophia took a look at what Amber was talking about. He really did seem familiar. I never thought of it. But who's the princess that this prince is after? She questioned. The silhouette for the princess didn't seem to match anyone they knew. The book continued the story, showing the next picture where the prince's silhouette was shown in profile. Sophia's jaw dropped. Is that Prince Hugo? Amber finished. So Prince Hugo needs help, Sophia realized. She then paused and added, But who is the princess? Amber thought for a moment. Maybe he's given off clues lately that Sophia would know about. Sophia, have you seen Prince Hugo around lately? She asked. Sophia sighed and explained how she's rarely seen him the past week. Well, it's settled then. We'll have to track him down tomorrow and get him to tell us who this princess is so we can help, Amber declared. Come on, Sophia, Amber said, standing up off of her stool, heading towards the door. Yeah, I'll be right there. You go on ahead, Sophia insisted. Amber reminded her how Sophia would miss the boat. It's okay. I have my way back, Sophia replied. Amber worriedly watched her sister as she made her way to the door. Sophia just hopelessly sat on the bench, listening to the story. As Amber rowed the boat back to the castle, Sophia sat listening to the story over and over again, with tears dripping down her face. So that's why I've rarely seen him. He's been hanging around another princess, Sophia rebuked. Wiping her tears, Sophia stood up and bellowed, All right then, I'll help Prince Hugo and his newfound princess. She stepped onto the enchanted elevator, which she took back to the castle. She sat dangling on her bed, not knowing whether to be mad or sad. She heard the door creak and Princess Amber stepped in. Sophia, are you all right? I came to check on you, she explained. Sophia sat up straight and turned to her older sister going, Of course I am fine, Amber. But at least you see Desmond around school sometimes. Not with this newfound princess. Amber grinned and went, Sophia, tell you what. While James talks to Hugo tomorrow, you and I can look for this newfound princess together. Thanks, Amber. But I'll find this new princess myself. I want to see what Hugo sees in her. But I'll see you at dinner, I promise, Sophia replied. Amber nodded, understanding where Sophia was coming from. It must be hard to find out the person you like was gaining feelings for someone else, and then have to help them ask that person out as well. Well, all right, Sophia, she said, closing the door. The next day at school, during lunch, Sophia glanced across the cafeteria, trying to find a princess that matched the silhouette from the book. While looking, she saw an upset James talking to a nervous Hugo. Did Amber tell him what was going on? Oh no, we don't want Hugo to be ashamed for doing this. It's supposed to be a happy ending, Sophia cried, making her way over to the two. James, Hugo, what are you two talking about? Without even turning to look at his sister, James replied, "Sophia, I'll talk to you later, all right? Please move along." James must be upset because he only calls me Sophia when he is mad, Sophia noticed. "No, James, I am not leaving. Not till I find out what is going on between you and Hugo. Let's hear it." James, still staring at Hugo instead of Sophia, explained how Hugo wouldn't tell him why he's been avoiding Sophia. "Wait, so Amber didn't tell you?" Sophia gasped. No. Tell me what?" James asked. Sophia gave a sigh of relief, replying, nothing, James. I have to go find Amber really quick. Bye!" James curiously saw Sophia leave. What could she be up to? Oh well, I'll find out later. He then turned back to Hugo, once again putting on a serious face. "All right, Hugo, back to you. Now why have you been avoiding Sophia anyways?" "Amber, there you are. I've been looking for you. We need to talk, now," Sophia urged. Amber tried to ask if they could later because she was late to meet up with Desmond. "No, Amber, right now. Come on," Sophia demanded. Amber turned to tell Desmond that she would be right back. Sophia then quickly pulled her sister to the corner of the room. "All right, Sophia, what is so important that you couldn't wait?" Amber questioned. "Well, I didn't find a new princess in the lunchroom or in any of this morning's classes. There's no mention of a new princess. Also, James is upset with Hugo because he won't tell James anything. So I was hoping, Amber, maybe during recess you can talk to Hugo. I mean, after all, you did have a crush on him in the past, right?" Sophia explained. This was all so much information for Amber to process at once. "Well, yes, I did. But why would that mean he would tell me what is going on? Sophia, you're the story keeper. You are supposed to be completing this story, right?" Amber said. Sophia just disappointingly looked to the floor, stating how she doesn't know she could complete this one on her own. It was too personal. "Sophia, I've seen you face tougher challenges than this," Amber told Sophia, trying to make her feel better and more confident. Sophia looked back up at Amber as her face changed from disappointed to determined. "You're right, Amber. I have done tougher challenges, and this will be a happy ending to the story, no matter who this new princess is. I will get her and Hugo together," Sophia declared. "That's more like it," Amber exclaimed. Out at recess later that day, Sophia searched and finally spotted Hugo playing dazzle ball with a few other princes. She called out to him and could tell he felt uncomfortable. "Wait, Hugo! Please don't run away. I want to talk to you. I'm here to help. I always am," she assured. Hugo tensed up and nervously asked, "Help with what?" Sophia answered how she understood there was a new princess he was seeing a lot, and she wanted to help him get together with her. Still a little tense, Hugo carelessly replied, "What new princess are you talking about?" "I don't exactly know. I just heard that you were planning on asking a princess for a special evening, so I want to help," Sophia explained. Hugo questioned who told her that. "It's complicated," Sophia said. Hugo just gave her a confused look. "Don't worry. I told you I'm here to help. I can give you advice and reassurance. You shouldn't be afraid," Sophia finished. Hugo looked back at the other princes, then smiled and sat the dazzle ball down. "All right," he agreed. Sophia smiled and went, "Great. So, Hugo, tell me about this new princess you've been seeing. What does she look like? And what kind of things does she like?" "I will tell you, but let's take a seat for a bit so we can talk," Hugo responded. Sophia agreed, and they walked to sit by a tree on the hill. As they sat down, Hugo let out a sigh. Sophia worriedly looked at the prince. "You really don't seem confident in this. What's holding you back?" she consoled. Hugo went on to explain how this princess was different from the others. He mentioned how almost everyone has flaws, but he couldn't think of one flaw the princess has. He then looked at Sophia and stated how he doesn't know if he can live up to her standards. "Hugo, almost every girl at Royal Prep would be thrilled if you asked them for a special evening. I doubt this princess would reject you. After all, you've been spending a lot of time together anyway, right? Sofia comforted. I have been spending time with her, but lately she hasn't been around. I don't want to show up at her castle without her parents knowing, Hugo replied. Sofia paused in thought, then declared, How about if I talk to this princess for you? I just need to know her name. I don't know if that's how it works, Sofia, Hugo said. Sofia then suggested to ask her while they're here at school. She knew the princess had to be there somewhere since the story said he was often paired up with her at school. And you're sure she'd say yes? Hugo wondered. Positive, Sofia confirmed, standing back to her feet. Let's go find us a princess, she cheered. Hugo began to stand back up as well and said, Thanks, Sofia. Let's go see if that princess is around. While walking around outside, Sofia asked if the princess likes any sports. A few, actually, Hugo answered, still not giving out enough information. Hugo, if we're going to ask her for a special evening, I have to know more about her so I can give you advice on what to tell her, Sofia reminded. Hugo stopped, then looked at Sofia asking how princesses normally would like to be asked. It depends on the princess, I guess. For example, a girl like Amber would want it to be all out to prove that she's worth it. A girl like Vivian would probably just like it to be simple and sweet. If it were someone like Hildegard, she'd probably want something dedicated to her, like a song or a poem. I personally would just like it to show that they care and mean what they say. Not too big and not too small, you know? Sofia said. Hugo began to nod as Sofia added, Just tell her the truth on how you feel and do what you feel she would enjoy. Thanks, Sofia, Hugo smiled. Anytime, Hugo, Sofia said. I know she's going to love it. Do you know where she might be? Actually, Sofia, the princess I've been meaning to ask is you, Hugo admitted. Me? Sofia cried. She couldn't believe it. She was the princess in the book? Hugo continued to smile and replied, Yes, Sofia. I just couldn't bring myself to tell you because you keep on going to new places sometimes. But I've been wanting to ask you out for the longest time. But why me? Sofia blushed. Well, you're beautiful, kind, always looking on the bright side, and I could never be who I am now without you. You started out the naive princess and have turned into the wonder standing before me, and I don't ever want to lose that, Hugo explained. So, would you want to have dinner with me Friday night? I could arrange a picnic by our lake, Hugo offered. Sofia excitedly replied, I would love that, Hugo, and gave him a tight hug. So that Friday, Hugo picked Sofia up from Enchantia and brought her back to his castle. A beautiful scene was awaiting for her by the lake. Hanging out of the picnic basket was a bouquet of flowers. Hugo, this is incredible! Thank you, she cried. Anytime, Sofia. It's the least I can do, he said, helping her out from the carriage. Sofia questioned when he found time to plan all this out. I've been planning this for longer than you think, Sofia, Hugo answered. They sat down on the blanket provided, and Hugo went, Sorry that I was avoiding you lately. I just knew I had these feelings, but didn't know how to express them. You were out of my league, and I didn't think you'd accept me. So I thought avoiding you would help avoid my feelings. I guess I was being a little... Timid? Sofia giggled. Yeah, that, Hugo chuckled. So, shall we start with a little bit of juice? Sofia laughed, holding out her glass. Hugo laughed as well, going, We shall. He then poured some juice into Sofia's glass and then some into his. That night, when Sofia returned to the secret library, the book's pictures were no longer silhouettes, but rather actual pictures of Hugo and Sofia. And so, the prince finally was able to admit his true feelings to the princess as she returned them. The special evening went just as he had planned for months, and the princess was now his. Best happy ending ever, Sofia cried as the book returned to its shelf.